Hi Geminis, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Monthly Tarot for October 2024. This message is for any Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, but also if Gemini rules a particular house or planet that you need clarity on for the month of October 2024, then this message is also for you. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Please do hit that like button if this does resonate and subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot. And thank you to all my subscribers. Now, the messages that came through this month, Gemini, we got to get out of our heads, all right? And it's going to be so easy to get stuck in our heads this month. So the more you can tune out the outside world, turn off social media, the more you can recognize you are the engineer, the creator, the architect of your life through your thoughts, through your communication, specifically the communication you have with yourself. All right, there was a message of self-love, and I got the amazing Scorpio RuPaul in my head of, if you don't love yourself, how the heck you gonna love anyone else? Okay, so there's this idea of, if you accept the perception you have of yourself as the only perception that you need to worry about, because then we can even play that card of, like, we perceive how other people perceive us, and that perception might actually not be the perceived perception. Okay, so I just want you to remember that the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. The most important thing you have is your superpower, is your communication. You don't like drama, don't talk about drama. You don't like toxic people, don't talk about toxic people. Don't think about them. There's just this idea of really recognizing the mental mastery it takes. Whoa, that went flying. Yeah, look at this. Pluto especially, like, Pluto's flying over here because it's saying, listen, answer the wake-up call. And that wake-up call, that liberation, comes from where you're focusing your attention. All right. And so there is this message that there was a lot of shadow energy that came through. And so just a strong message of speak what you want to see, believe what you want to believe, especially when it comes to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, pep talking I'm getting of this energy of self-love. So we're going to get into a little bit of the astrology, because clearly Pluto has, like, listen, that Pluto Capricorn direct is going to be pretty powerful, okay? And so the more, like I said, the more you can tune that out and tune into where you're heading, and the less you're going to feel the effects of that energy. So October 2nd, new moon solar eclipse in Libra, all right? So this is where we could feel like we're getting thrown off balance. This is where that over analyzing and overthinking and worrying and doubting and fearing could really ramp up. And so remember that we have a lot of eclipse energy. We had that full moon in Pisces, lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse. Now we have this solar eclipse. And so there's just a lot of light, a lot of energy radiating down on us. And so you're, along with that, then that means a lot of downloads. And so who's the vessels for all that thought and communication? It's the air signs, okay? So I just really want you to be mindful of that. We want to, like I said, avoid burnout. And so this is, the doom scrolling is not a good thing to do during this time. You don't want to absorb all that toxic energy. All right. So October 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. And so here's this idea of what this is going to be great for mutable signs like you, obviously, Gemini, because it's in your sign. That adaptability. So you are adaptable. And so there's this idea of recognizing, like, there might be some areas of adaptability to our expansion that we might internally be adverse to accepting, but then when we actually do accept it, it's going to open up our expansion even more. So I'm getting a lot that we're reflecting, like, where in your life you've been wanting to expand and where you feel like you're reaching a roadblock. And perhaps it's because we're choosing to not be flexible in a certain area, okay, when it comes to that expansion. Now, the big one, October 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. So Pluto retrograde went into Capricorn September 1st. Now it's going direct. So everything with that last-ditch effort of that Capricorn paradigm, we're going to start seeing more and more in our 3D world. We've already been feeling it, and it's all related to power, all right? Who has the power? Who's able to dictate the rules? Who's able to say this is this and that is that? And so for you, Geminis, depending on what side of the coin you're on, we really want to recognize that winning isn't winning if it involves us having to deceive or cheat, you know what I mean? And that's what this Capricorn paradigm with Pluto direct in Capricorn, that's the game, is it's win at all costs, you know what I mean? And so the Aquarian age, no, everybody gets to win, everybody gets to share in the abundance. And so there's this idea of really recognizing what thoughts and communication, because if you're recognizing like, yeah, this is happening, you just can't keep focusing on it, all right? It's one thing to stay up to date on the news. It's another thing to delve into the anger and the, you know, the animosity. And so here's where, like I said, that be the architect of understanding, yes, all this stuff is going direct, but we're going to get through this. And there is that message of we're not going back to that toxic shadow energy of what it means to have power and control, all right? And so it's just the recognition of knowing this is that last ditch effort, okay? And it's going to be the last time Pluto's in Capricorn in our lifetimes. So just recognize that. It's going to be bittersweet. And so the more, like I said, there's this idea of recognizing like how much has happened during Pluto's time in Capricorn. Like that's really something where it's like there is an evolution. Pluto is transforming our perception of power, our perception of control, our perception of evolution. So I really want you to recognize, like, when you want to take a stand and stand up for what you believe in, focus in the direction of where we're heading. Don't focus wasted energy on what's collapsing, because it's going to collapse, right? Okay, so another big thing, full moon in Aries, October 17th. Really feeling empowered here, okay? And so this is like, if you do want to speak something, like, just be mindful, because we also had Mercury entering Scorpio around October 13th. And so we're going to, actually, we got to go to that quick, because this is important for you being a ruler of Mercury. So we're going to be able to read between the lines. We're going to be able to see through people's BS. And so what did I say about October 11th, Pluto going direct in Capricorn? It's going to be more, it's been apparent to plenty of people, but now it's going to be very apparent to a lot of people in the collective, okay? People talking off of both sides of their head, deceptive AI tactics and bots and all this stuff. And so there's just going to be this message of like, on October 13th, like, we're all going to effectively be seeing this more clearly. But just be mindful of the reactionary communication that comes from that, okay? Be very mindful of that. Yeah, there's a lot of people trying to deceive, okay? And that deception, you could actually, that's what's cool, is you could actually be creative with it. And so, like, you could come up with a really great storyline or a song, like lyrics, or if you're a painter, like, express that angst into art. Like, there's just this idea of, like, you could take that deception and utilize it differently than combating it, okay? Like, I'm getting, you see somebody who says something you don't like, and you're like, I got to put this person in their place. And it's like, no, like, transmute that into creativity is really what I'm getting. Okay, so back to your personal power, October 17th, full moon in Aries. We really need to understand that, like, this is about us taking control of certain areas of our life and pushing beyond what we think what we can do, what we can express. And so for you, Geminis, like I said, there's something here where I feel like you've been holding back in some area of your life because of how the perception, we're going back to perception and that idea of like how you perceive yourself is really what matters. And so energetically, the universe is like kicking you like in the butt, like pushing you forward onto that stage. It's like you've been like peeking behind the red curtain, like, oh, I don't know if the audience is going to, how the audience is going to perceive this. And then the universe pushes you out on that stage. And then it's not about you connecting to the audience. It's about you connecting to yourself. Okay, Geminis? That's the recognition that we get during this time. And so we can't hold back on how to express ourselves, because at this point in time, the audience reacts to how you connect to yourself, not how you connect to them, because how you connect to yourself then connects to them. Okay, very strong message there, because it's so easy for you to get stuck in your head and make excuses for not putting yourself out there. Like I said, it could be a whole new identity. Like, this is something where people have never seen this side of you. That's really a strong message. Like, this is something where you haven't even shown people because you've been so afraid of perception that you've never even put it out there. So My favorite thing, actually, no, well, hold on. October 22nd, Sun enters Scorpio. We're really going to be feeling that transformation. Okay, so here's where it's like, it'll click the recognition of like, it's the deceitful tactics of that Pluto direct in Capricorn. It's not going to work. And like, now we're going to start recognizing that, like, it's going to get interesting, but like, we can feel that transformation is like here, is upon us, right? And we're going to really recognize that we're going to feel a lot more passionate. We're going to feel a lot more expressive. We're going to feel a lot more liberated, right? Like this renewal of like, I don't have to pretend I'm somebody I'm not. I don't have to hide myself anymore. That's really a strong message here. And so my favorite thing, now I can get to it, October 31st, Halloween, is this message of the veil is already thin on Halloween. And this Halloween, we have Mercury in Scorpio, the planet of communication, in the sign of death, birth, transformation, trining Neptune in Pisces, the planet of dreams, in the sign of the dreamer. All right. And so if you ever, like, that veil is going to be the thinnest. And so if you've ever had this desire to connect to a loved one who has passed, just in general, connect to like what it means, like that other side, if you will, in quotes, because it's not like a side, it's here. But like, there's this idea of, if you've ever wanted to do that, have a seance, close your eyes. It can just be you and whoever you're trying to connect to. That veil is going to be so thin. All right. And so here's like, it's like somebody could whisper in your ear, blow up, like a breeze blows when you think of them or you talk to them. So and your dreams. Okay. So that's another thing. Even if you're not somebody who has vivid dreams, like you could have somebody who has passed come to you with a very important message. All right. And so I just really want you, especially if it's a father figure and somebody where you, part of your perception of power and what it means to be in power, that person has had a really powerful effect on your life, is really what I'm getting. Okay. So clearly Pluto is going to be very important this month for you. So like I said, stay grounded, Geminis, and let's see what we got going on for you. Yeah, the feeling of stuck, you're gonna get unstick yourself when you take control of your destiny in the way that you take control of your thoughts and your communication. All right, it's just like there's, in all areas connected to your past, connected to this feeling of like not feeling powerful or in control of your life or your destiny, you're going to start recognizing that for what it is. Oh, good. I love seeing that. Wow. Wow. Congratulations, Geminis. This is wonderful. A lot related to that divine feminine energy, a lot related to your power, a lot related to, again, what it means to be in power, to be in control of your life, and that divine feminine energy. I love seeing that. So overall energy for the month of October 2024 is the 7 of Coins. And so here's where this is perfect, because harvest season, okay, it's harvest season anyways. And then, oh, this is another fascinating thing. I didn't even think about this. So for those of you that actually planted your seeds, so if you might recall, I did the new moon in Taurus where you plant the seeds for your success, not just money, but love and the collective, like what we want in the collective. This is the time where we're going to start seeing the rewards of that. All right. And so like, this is where you recognize, I have done the work and I do deserve the rewards. And that's the satisfaction. I'm not getting dissatisfaction from this. This is wonderful because I see the wheat. So the Little Red Hen, one of my daughter's favorite books. And the Little Red Hen, she's always asking everybody like, hey, will you help me, make this bread? No, like, and all the steps it takes. Nobody wants to help her. Nobody wants to help her. So she does it all herself. And she does it all herself, like, do. And then at the end of it, who wants to eat the bread? Well, everybody wants to eat it. But she's like, no, I'm going to eat it myself because I did it myself. And that's kind of the energy that we have here, is like, we don't have to have the animosity of, doing something on our own, right? Like we have the satisfaction of like, I worked dang hard for this and I deserve this. And that's really a strong message that's coming through this month for you, Geminis, is you are going to reap the rewards, and they're clearly very fruitful. Now, what you need more of, Queen of Coins. Okay, so Queen of Coins, you have to remember that that's coming from you. All right, so that's another thing. This is that energy of like overnight success, but you've been working your butt off for years. You know what I mean? And like, so everyone's like, oh wow, look what just fell into their lap, and you're like, excuse me, I have been working on this forever. All right, but the Queen of Coins, really, what I want to go back to is your thoughts. Okay. Radiate that light from within. Know that that coin is falling down from that tree that you took care of. Okay. Also, you know, productive, honest, okay, feeling satisfied. So what did I say? Like, you have to embody the Queen of Coins, all right? You have to be the Queen of Coins this month. You have to radiate this and have that confidence within you. Now, what you have the right amount of, justice. Okay, I just, like, this makes me so happy because of how much that, you know, off balance, off kiltered energy is affecting people. You have the clarity to see. So that's why I want to go back to that Mercury and Scorpio. Like, you're seeing through people's BS, but not everybody's going to see through other people's BS. Okay. But you just have to have the recognition and understanding from within yourself. But you have the ability, if there is something off of balance, it's going to come to you with ease, the adaptability, because you're a mutable sign. It's going to come to you with ease with how to, like, quote, fix that. Okay, whatever's off balance, but you're seeing the clarity, you're seeing cause and effect. You have the responsibility. Like I said, this is a card that's telling me, like, you've really done the work. You've really focused on balancing your higher self, your ego, and all of those lessons. There's going to be a lot of clarity this month. Okay, what you need less of, the Seven of Wands. Okay, so Mars in Leo. So there's this idea of something might really be wanting you to, like, thou shall not pass, taking your staff and being like, absolutely, like that aggressive Mars energy, but from an ego state. Okay, like, I just get, because this is an area of what you need less of, it's almost like you need to let justice do it for you. All right, there's this idea of, like, the more energy you exert into putting into something, where it's, like I said, it could be related to if this is connected to dissatisfaction. Like, you have to just focus on radiating your light. All right, that's your focus. What you can change, the High Priestess. Yeah, seek your own counsel. There's a very strong message here to making sure that you recognize all of those answers are within you. Okay, there's a lot activated when you see through other people's BS, and you're gonna see through it clearly. You're gonna be seeing through people's BS very, very clearly this month. And this knowledge that you have, you're meant to share it, but at this time, I think you're just really meant to focus on the internal. Like, you know, you're writing a book, you just focus on writing it. You don't have to share tidbits at this time, almost, you know what I mean? So whatever that is for you. But this is the moon energy, so remember that. New moon in Libra, full moon in Scorpio. I'm sorry, not Scorpio, full moon in Aries. You're going to be feeling a very strong activation to that intuition. All right, you're going to be able to see below the surface. I love that. Okay, what you need to accept, Queen of Swords, you have to have very strong boundaries. You need to accept that, like, this goes back to what I was saying about, you need to love you, like, your perception of yourself, your perception of things. You give your power away when you need that self-assurance from other people. I'm almost getting, but look at how much light activation is going on for you, Geminis. All of this, and look at it's all on their third eye. So that, like I said, that you're really going to be feeling that connection to the other side. Like, if you have a pendulum, oh, and look at pendulum. Excuse me. If you have a pendulum, I know a Gemini has a pendulum, and she's probably watching this. You could really get some very important answers there. Okay, now what you need to, or I'm sorry, the end of the month, Nine of Cups, Jupiter in Pisces, and so this is like wishes coming true, fulfillment, contentment. Like I said, this is what's falling into your basket. Okay, this is what's falling into your basket. So I hope you're excited. So let's get some past life energy here. I want to see what's connected to this Seven of Wands, because that's in the area of what we need less of. So there's a situation where you really feel like you need to assert yourself. Finances, all right. Okay. You know, this interesting seeing this in this position too, because it's almost this idea of like, maybe there is the need to get nasty with somebody. Okay, your relationship with money is being affected by your past life experiences. For instance, you may have had a lifetime of extreme poverty or even wealth. Many people struggle to save money because their other lifetimes involved communal wealth, where the covenant, tribe, or village provided for everyone's needs. In those lifetimes, there was no such thing as individual savings accounts or separate possessions. As a result, you may find that your finances are perplexing and upsetting. Your income may roller coaster up and down until you come to terms with the fact that you're currently incarnated in a Western capitalist society that operates on individualism. To heal the situation, understand that money is merely energy and can be used for good purposes or negative ones. Know that money in itself is neutral. It is what you do with it that matters. Act with the intention to help the world through charity and generosity. That is a noble virtue. So yeah, there is just something here where it's like, no, this is mine, okay? Like I switched those. That's funny. Yeah, you're going to unlock that coin from activating something within you. And there's almost this idea too of like protecting this knowledge that you have. You almost like you feel like you have to protect that knowledge that you have, like you can't share it. All right, interesting. Okay. See what archetypal energy is affecting you this month, Geminis. We have another one of the longer readings this month. Okay, guide. Ooh, I love this. This is perfect. Okay. Because I'm really getting that strongly connected to this area. Light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insights. Okay, yeah. Very, very interesting. So for instance, if you like have a channel, a tarot channel, and you know, you're only focused on the money aspect, or, you know, it's this like, oh, I can teach you how to do this, but first you got to pay this, you know, like the clickbaity type of stuff. Then you're not like really, that's not the reason for like sharing it. Like, but again, recognizing that that is the society we live in. And so it's almost like this idea of like, you can't have shame for like the financial aspect, but it can't be your only want for doing something, I guess. Okay. Now let's get some dragon energy. And this could also be somebody else. So this could be somebody else who gets your goat, right? Where you see people who are in this shadow. Like I get frustrated with certain tarot and astrology, you know, where it's all the fear-based clickbait stuff. Like that's one of my triggers. And so like I have to spend less attention on people like that. You know what I mean? Like I could do the gimmicky clickbaity titles and you know what I mean? Like do that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to do that. All right, because that's not the purpose of this. So Omega Dragon, harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, bring the higher birth the higher consciousness. Yeah, there's something here about this divine. I don't even want to cover them up. Look at Lady Justice, okay? Lady Justice and all this divine feminine energy. Perfect. See, that's the wonderful thing. Like when you do live from a place of purpose, when you do live from a place of like, doing the work because it's satisfying, not because of what it's going to get you. Like there is a big, strong difference there. All right. Angelite. Ooh, peace. And Malachite, clearing. Yeah, there's a lot here, especially during Libra season. Like I said, I do think that you're going to really feel like cleared and cleansed. And like this is what the end game is. It's not necessarily just the money. It's the peace. It's the enjoying, the satisfaction. All right. Empowering question for you, Geminis. That was easy. Wow. What is my life like when it is in balance? So this is wonderful because when we can write this down every day, this is what I want you to do every day. What is my life like when it is in balance? Ooh, this is another fun thing. Ask ChatGPT, like, what is your dream life? Tell ChatGPT what your dream life is, and then ask them to write a day in the life of your dream life when it is in balance. You know what I mean? And so there is this idea of you have to scribe, what does it look like when my life is in balance? Like throughout the whole day. And ChatGPT does that. They'll do like early morning. And then if it's not like right, like for me, I did this, but it didn't include my daughter in my dream. And so I was like, can you please include my daughter? And then it include my daughter in anything. And I'm like, well, can you include my daughter where she's also in school? And so then it wrote the script of my life for a day in my life. And it was perfect. And so there is this, really ask yourself, what is your life like when it is in balance? Because that's the focus. That's what all of this is for. Okay, so let's get one clarifier and then we're going to close this out, Geminis. I'm excited because you and Taurus have really wonderful energies. And wow, yeah, look at that determination. You want to take the sword when it comes to your thoughts and communication. Write it down, Geminis. What is my life like when it is in balance? Write it down and live it. King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Like, yeah, as one of my favorite tarot readers says, you're good, okay? Like, this is fantastic. I'm so excited for you. Geminis, thanks again for joining me. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot, share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and as always, shine your inner light. You've got this.